Okay. So as I was telling you, you remember we were talking the main thing of Juniper is that the control plane and the forwarding plane, it is separated. So this control plane, this is the VCP and this is Vmax. So MX series router. These are MX series routers. And this is the VCP, so virtual control plane. This is the VFP, the virtual forwarding plane. And then you have, like here it is connected, but imagine you want to do the lab somewhere in GNS3 or something, and you want to connect it. In that case, this interface, remember, it has to be EM1. There will be EM0 also, there will be EM1 also. Hello? So this, don't take any other interface because that will not work. I tried and I failed. Okay, because the EM1 is the internal, internal interface to connect the control plane to the forwarding plane. Don't take anything. There is EM0 also. This EM0 is actually the, what is that? Management port. Okay, in our Cisco devices, we have only the console port and we have the auxiliary port, right? Physically, I'm telling. But here in the Juniper devices, you have the this middle one is console. This is aux, and this is the management port. We are going to talk about that, but that can be represented in some routers. It will be EM0. In other routers, it will be FX0, or in some routers, it is ME0 also. Like, depends on different models of routers and switches. Okay. So this will be, this management port can be FX0, EM0, or ME, or something like that. Okay. Till now, any questions?
Sir, Rajgopal here.
Yeah, Rajgopal, please.
Is this lab is limited to during the training hours, or we can also access?
No. The only limitation you have as of now is that 2 people are accessing with the same AnyDesk. Okay, so you have to just contact your partner saying that please don't do that, I'm doing it. That's all. Understood? Hello? Hello?
Hello. Yeah, I understood, sir. Thank you.
Okay, you understood. So only another thing is that when one member is doing the lab, he should take care that after it is done, he should shut down the lab and he should close the lab. Okay, he should close the lab. Otherwise, it will become difficult for the other person to come in. We have faced this problem. See, you are, this is your lab. Let's say this is Shekhar, I'm one of the participants. This is my lab. This is in my folder. This folder is under IOPEX Juniper. Okay, so you can see whoever is there under 192.168.0.155, they will have their separate folders, and in the folder they have the lab. Okay, so this is what it is. And then this is 192.168.0.156. This is the second VM. Okay, so So I have created, this is, you can see the second set of people, those who are supposed to log in through 156. Okay. Now 155 people will not be able to log in here because we have created the user credentials, right? So 156, go to 156. Whoever is 155, they will go to 155, and you have this. Just for example, for Veerbhadra. Okay, I click here. Please be careful, you just don't click on this red one. Uh, Everything will be gone. So you have this lab. You click on this lab, the same lab is here. Okay. So this is what it is. This is how you access the lab. Any questions till this point?
Ashok, I just want to confirm that I'm observing that I think the NDS is not installed. I just want to confirm with my partner as well. Rajesh, is Manisha, this NDS is there?
No. It has to get installed. You know, somebody from IT team has to call you because our HRTD has taken all the approvals from all the, you know, it's a big headache. Yeah, we have taken all the permissions and then it is with the IT team now.
So,
Okay.
so far, I'm sorry to say, so far nobody's reverted from the IT team to me and my team member.
Oh, okay. Okay. So see, this is like, you know, you have to, you just call up the IT team and tell that, you know, this was there, one ticket was there and other things. My personal one more suggestion is that if you have a laptop, if you have your own laptop, these headaches will not be there. If you have your laptop by chance.
No, I'm having laptop, but some issue I couldn't able to use my laptop.
Oh, okay. But if you could use it easily, you can install any desk and just do it. So if it is, then you just call up the IT team and just check it out once.
So
Okay.
if you don't mind, could you have that SR number so I can follow up and I can resolve this issue?
Okay. I will check it out and I will just put it in the chat. Okay.
Sure, thank you so much.
Let me check it out after that class. Okay. Who is speaking, by the way?
This is Mohammed Murtuza.
Yeah. I will contact you. Fine.
Sure.
SR number, I will try to put it in the WhatsApp. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. For the benefit.
I can see, like, I have installed AnyDesk just now from my side only. Just I tried to download it and I have installed it by chance. So how
maybe they have given permissions for you people. Just Mohammed, try it once.
Yeah, I have tried already, but it is asking for admin credentials.
Credentials. Okay. Then we will check it out. Okay.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Before
Shekhar,
this, yes.
Can you please help me with the AnyDesk ID? How can I connect with the AnyDesk?
We will give you the AnyDesk ID. 1 minute. So the process you have understood, right?
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt, sir.
Yeah.
Rajgopal here.
Yeah, Rajgopal.
Actually, I have tried to reach India IT service desk. Yeah, I told that I was not able to download the AnyDesk, but it when I'm trying to download, it says cannot download. And I have shared my employee ID and everything. Later, they have checked that they required some approval from Shivu.
Yeah. All these approvals has been taken. Hold on. Don't worry.
Even I have sent.
See,
yes, sir. Sorry to interrupt, Raja. Prashant here. 1 minute, sir. Someone from HR team will be raising on behalf of all of our team.
HR team, everybody, we have done it.
Yeah,
it has
already been done. It was done for us for the SD-WAN training. They have created a single SR for all of us. Like the same way they have been created, I believe. So IT team will be reaching one by one. So there will be some delay, it seems.
No, I
Don't
have
worry.
reached it. I have reached myself to IT help desk. The IT help
Okay.
desk, they have taken some time to check with the SR number which I have shared to them, but they said that they some that SR number which I have shared, it is waiting for approval from Shivu, it seems. That's what I heard from IT service desk.
Okay,
Even I
okay.
sent a mail on this to
See, listen. Let me after this class, let me talk to Kavita ma'am, okay,
yeah,
HR.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So she will help. She only is running around for these labs and other things, okay. So she takes approval from some CUR, then or department program manager. Then 4 or 5 levels of approvals are required, okay, just to install readers. Okay, so these are the things. Okay, now everybody please just look here, and then you use the any desk which I will provide, okay. Otherwise what will happen is it will interfere with each other's labs, okay. So many people are there, so we have tried to arrange it properly. So don't deviate, don't get into each other's this one. I'm going to give everybody, don't worry. So let me close this as of now, okay. So I am in this 155, okay. In 155 actually I was doing some practice, so I'm not doing it here. Here I had a separate folder apart this one here, just to show you some few things. This lab is there. I was doing some lab, so let me start this lab now, just to show you a couple of things. So I have started the lab. Okay, sometimes it will take 2 or 3. This one. Okay, this has started. Now this SRX router, this is the firewall. I was able to start, but this old one, but this is VSRX NG. This I am not able to work. Maybe in a couple of days or weeks, a week time, I'll start it. We don't have this as of now, but I'm just telling you. So I'm not starting everything individually because it will take lots of processing. This is one router I have kept. We'll do all these things later on. But what I will do is I will start 2 firewalls, only these 2 firewalls. Now remember what I told you just now, that this is, you can consider as one router. This also, it's a single router. Okay, this is the forwarding plane, this is the control plane. That's why you can see in the control plane no other thing is connected. Anyway, this control plane doesn't have interfaces also. It has got EM1 and EM0. It is for the management, management interfaces there, and one internal interface is there. So here only in the forwarding plane only, everything else is connected. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'll just start. Or maybe I'll start all of them. I'll stop this VSRX because it will take lots of processing. I don't want this to get started. I'll just stop. And as of now, I don't want this Cisco router also. I just kept the Cisco router for in case, So it takes a couple of minutes, of 3-4 minutes to boot up. So be patient. Now, once let's say now it is getting startup, don't click on the forwarding plane. You have to work on the control plane, right? So I click here. You see, it is getting, it's loading. So let it get, ready. We will come back. In the meantime, this is the can I share it with you? Okay. So what I will do is I'll put it in the chat. Just see whether you are able to access or not. Okay. Kindly check once. Okay,
Yes,
people
we
are
are able.
accessing. Very good. Very good. So you can see here, just for example, Kiran. Kiran, AnyDesk is this one. If it asks for password, it is Cisco 123. Once you get into the AnyDesk, open the Mozilla Firefox, then 192.168.0.156. You have to type the then in the AnyDesk, in the Eve, the username will be, you can see user ID is Kiran, K capital, and the password is EVE for everybody, small letter. Okay. So now if Kiran is using it, at that time, Veerbhadra, he can also log into the same AnyDesk. Two people can use the same AnyDesk. Okay. But the second person, when it is logging in, the first person should allow, like, this one will come. But he should not log into the Eve. Okay. When Kiran is doing the lab, he can view, and then once Kiran finishes his lab, Kiran should shut down all the devices and close the lab and exit out. Okay. So you can log off. Then maybe Veerbhadra can do it. Okay. Otherwise, it creates some problem. Please remember it. For some of them, it is 155. For some of them, it is 156. Please be careful. And don't disturb the other folders. Everybody has their own folders. When you save something, it will be saved. Okay, your configurations will be there.
Sir Kiran here.
Yeah, Kiran.
This link, the spreadsheet, I'm not able to open. It says the access, you don't have access.
You are doing it from your own laptop, huh?
No, Apex.
I don't know. Some of the AT&T people don't get access. I don't know why. So I will. Last time also it happened. I'll just give you the details. Is it okay?
Okay, sir. Okay.
See, basically your AnyDesk number is. I'll put it in the chat.
I took print screen, no problem. I will save it.
Okay. Remember to log into Eve. Okay, you already know the password is Eve. Okay, the Windows credentials, if it is asking, then the username, see when you put the AnyDesk, right? So when you go in, there can be a Windows might be logged off. You may have to log in. So username is student, password is Cisco. Okay, remember this. One more thing, when you do the lab, after finishing your lab, please don't shut down the Windows machine. Please don't shut down the Windows machine, because the next person we can log in. Okay. Otherwise, again, we have to call the lab person and we have to say, please start that. Somebody has by mistake switched it off. Okay. All these things will happen. I hope I'm clear with the lab details. These labs will be there. You can do the lab whenever you want, and I encourage you to take the because we are paying money, right? So I encourage you to do the lab as much as possible. And then, see, to tell you the fact, I am also learning. So I'm learning. I want to complete the JNCIA, and then I want to go for the security. Okay, so now I'm interested in Juniper. So I will, next couple of months, I'll be in Juniper only. Okay, so you people can tag along with me whenever I'm taking the class. You can join me, and then if you are interested, you can also take the certifications. So you people are interested in the certification, or just want to learn the technology? That's it. Hello.
It's up to IOPEX, I believe. If we wish, what is the procedure? I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Seriously, I don't know the procedure. I don't know whether IOPEX pays or not. I am going to take it myself. So I don't know. So if there is a reimbursement, it's good, because Juniper is, I think Juniper I wanted to do for a long time.
Okay.
So, okay.
I think I'm not sure if someone sign for some
Interested.
contract, they will, they will, I think they will some amount.
Okay, maybe every company does that, like they will give this one for 2 years bond or something like that, 1 year bond. I don't know the process in here. Anyways, it will be good only. So let me get into our slides. So 1 minute. So I'll share the slides, don't worry. And then some things might look pretty basic, but there are some finer points. You might think, okay, we are every day doing the CLI, what is the big deal? But out of the 10 things which maybe one thing might be little different from Cisco. That's why I'm going from very, very basic things. Okay, so here we are going for the device management. Okay, now in this section we'll talk a little bit about the console port, the management port, and the other ways to access. Okay, now there are different ways to access this Juniper device. Some require actually locally connected access, like the console port. Okay, and some can be accessed remotely also through telnet or this one. Okay, another thing is that you remember Juniper is made on top of Linux, right? So when they thought of creating this Juniper, so they had option that either I develop the Juniper from ground up, or there are, let us think about, let us take a Linux OS, and this Linux OS is the free BSD. This will take care of all the low level work. Low level work means taking care of the CPU, maintaining the RAM, CPU, maintaining the memory, maintaining the environment. All the low level work they can do, right? It's a free BSD is a good option. Why should we develop everything from scratch? Let us develop the Juniper as an application on top of that, right? So some of the low level tasks will be done by the Linux, and Juniper will do what Juniper does the best, the networking options, right? So when you log in through some of the in some way, this one, they will put you in the Linux cell. Okay, and some some logins will put you in the operational mode. We'll come to that. So the console port, that the console port is always on, and you can log in through console port in a new device when no other option is there. But let me tell you that in a Juniper device, you may have two console ports. One is RJ45 common, like our Cisco type, and another one is a micro USB access. Okay, so you can have a console access through micro USB also. Now, by default, whenever you are logging, so this is the default one. This you have to enable. How do you enable? For that, one document I have read. This is very simple, not a big deal. So whenever, what I do is, whenever I get some online information, that I put it in that Excel sheet. So here, say, some devices have two console ports, RJ45 console port and mini USB type B console port. So you can configure and manage the device using the either port. To connect the device using a passive port, you must first configure the port as active port and reboot the device. So what it is telling is that one of the device, initially in a new device, I think the RJ45 console port will be open, that will be active, and this might be passive. Passive means like it is down. Okay, so you have to make it active and you have to reboot the device. Okay, when the console port is active, it can display all early boot and low level messages output. You can access the device through the port in the debugger prompt. On some devices, only one console port is active at one time, and the console input is active only at that port. Check the hardware guide for your particular device for both ports, this one. So in RJ45, console port is active by default. See, okay. To activate the mini USB type console port, what you do is connect to the host machine of the device directly using the active console port. That means you just have to configure. Okay, you have to configure, and basically this is the command. Okay, the command is set system ports. Okay, auxiliary port type. Here it is mini USB. Suppose if it is RJ45, you have to say RJ45. And then for any configuration after that, you have to do the commit. Okay, that we'll talk about that. Okay, so after that you have to reboot the switch. Okay, to configure RJ45 console port as the active port, use the same procedure with the set system ports auxiliary port type RJ45. So if you want RJ45 to be the active port, then here it should be RJ45. That's it. Okay, and then of course you have to commit and reboot. Okay, so this is one document. I can put it in the chat. Can go through it. Because I don't have any particular book, right? Like Cisco, there are documents, books I'm not getting it. And the old Juniper books were there in the Amazon, but the new one I didn't get it. So I just consult the online things. Okay, so got this information. Now, so give me one moment. Now, whenever you are connecting through console, okay, so you will immediately get into the unique cell. Okay, you will get into the unique cell. Okay, so how do you know that it is the unique cell? It might look different in the different versions, but here I'm in the VMX. So what will it look like is this. Whenever you see here the root, that means the username, and then it was a new device, so I have not given a host name, so otherwise the host name would have been here, @ and you see this tilde sign. Okay, tilde sign and hash. Then you should know that you are in the Linux cell. Okay, so in the Linux cell, and one more thing, if it is an unconfigured new device, you will see this word, amnesiac. Okay, once you configure the device, then you will not see this word. Okay, you can see FreeBSD, okay, and amnesiac, okay, and you have to use the login. You have to say root, and there is no password, and you get into this shell, Linux shell. Now, in the Linux shell, you can type. See, if you know little bit of Linux, then it will be a cakewalk for you. So you can give the various Linux commands here. But this is for advanced users. Now you would not like to stay in the Linux shell for a long time. So what you do, you give the command CLI. You give the command CLI and press enter. You get into the root. Okay, so this is the operational mode. Operational mode. Okay, in the operational mode, when you say configure, you are in the configuration mode. Okay, so in the Juniper, apart from that shell, so when you actually get into Juniper, you get into operational mode. So operational mode will have greater than symbol, and the configuration mode will have hash symbol. So these are the two things you'll be having. Any questions till this point?
Sir Kiran.
Yeah, Kiran, please.
So this Linux mode will it be useful only for the R&D people or for the operation people?
No. It is useful for operations people also. The file structure and everything is there, right? Okay. So the processes are running as daemons, right? So you can delete some daemon. No, not delete. Sorry, you can restart some of the daemons. You can do some of the things in the shell mode also. Okay. Okay. And then maintenance, and then doing the maintenance and some of the installation and other things are it's a better way to do in the shell mode itself.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Okay, but normal day-to-day operations in the Juniper mode only you can do it. You need not come to the shell mode. But if it is good that if you know little bit of Linux.
Thanks.
Hello, Shekhar.
Yeah.
Shekhar, so for checking directory, like we do ls and also we need to check.
It is here. Yes, it is there.
Shell mode only. Okay.
Yeah, it is. So all the Linux things are here. It's a Linux, right? It is FreeBSD. I forgot the full form. but it seems like FreeBSD is the one of the good router like it's a Linux operating system for networking routing. It's good. Okay, it's Linux only.
Okay.
Okay, LS and everything will work.
Okay.
Okay, so now the management port. Next is the management port. So in Cisco, our
Sorry,
Cisco.
Kiran. Sorry.
Yeah.
Kiran. This direct, what Sanat was asking is maybe in CLI and in Linux, both we can see the directory, right? We can.
Yes.
Okay.
All the Linux things you can do. LS and other commands you can type.
In both CLI and Linux mode.
No, not CLI. When you say CLI, now you get into Juniper.
Oh, so in CLI mode, we cannot see the directory and all.
See. No, we can see the directories. There are different commands for that.
Okay.
There is something called as file list and other things. Okay. But those who know Linux, now they would like to go to the Linux mode and work on it. Okay, so you can see the directories there also. You can see the directories here also. Okay,
yeah, that's what I want. Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So that whatever you are telling CLI mode, that CLI mode is called as the like you type the CLI and you get into the operational mode. Okay. Now, next is, see, in our Cisco enterprise devices, we didn't have that management port. Okay, but I have seen that all other vendors, they are having management port. So the difference of this between the management port and the console port is console port doesn't require any IP address or anything, but the management port, you can give a IP address and you can get into the device. But this is called as the out of band management, right? You can telnet to the device. If you have an IP address on the management port, you can telnet to the device. You can do whatever you like, right? Now, this is non-routable access. That means non-routable access means from, see, please try to understand, any traffic going into the management port will not come out of any other port, or traffic from any other or gigabit Ethernet or any other port, any traffic which is coming in, that will not come out of the management port. So this is totally non-routable, totally separate. Okay. So remember, and this typically referenced as FXO, EMO, EM0, FXPO, P0, basically ME0. Remember, I connected in EM1 that the link between the forwarding plane and the control plane in that lab, the link was connected on EM1. So I told you that there was a EM0 also. This EM0 is the management port. Okay, it is defined as the management port. So it depends on different devices. In some devices, it might be called as FXP0. In some devices, it might be called as EM0. It depends. Of course, it can be accessed through telnet and SSH also. Okay, and then there is a web access also. Okay, so Juniper devices provide a GUI for management access that is called as JWeb. Okay, so minimum configuration is required. So if you want the device to be accessible through JWeb, so basically there should be one IP address first of all, and then you have to enable the web interface. Okay, set system services, web management, HTTPS interface. You have to give the interface number, okay, through which it has to access. Here FX0.0, FX0 means that is the management interface. Okay, but the platforms which we are using VMX. These platforms doesn't support JWeb. Okay, so this is what it is. So let me just, okay, before getting into this, okay, this network interfaces, let us talk about this network interfaces. This is one big topic. Now, why am I bringing about this topic? Because our job is to go to the CLI and configure whatever is there. But as a network engineers, we need to know like what are the different kinds of network interfaces are there. And there is a problem. The problem is that different vendors name the interfaces or equip their interfaces in different ways. They term it in a different way. In let's say in Cisco, in a 10 gig interface, we will say interface 10 gigabyte 1 or 10 gigabyte 0, right? But in Juniper, it is called as XC, XC1, XC2. Okay, so it becomes different. Okay, that's why I just want to dedicate some time talking about the different kinds of interfaces. So here I'll talk about different interfaces. I'll specifically talk about the loopback interface. I'll talk about different physical and virtual interface, and I'll talk about the naming conventions. Okay, so Juniper, supports a wide variety of interfaces. You can see that they can be differentiated into physical, virtual, and then they are differentiated into permanent and transient. Okay, so these Juniper network routers, they contain two major characters, two major categories of interfaces. One is the permanent, one is this transient. What is this permanent? What is this transient, right? The users or the admin cannot remove the permanent interfaces. Okay, whereas they can move, they can change, they can remove the transient interfaces. Okay, so there can be few other technical differences, differences are there, but you have to get into the particular device and read the documentation. Now, the permanent interface. A permanent interface is any interface that is always present on the router. It cannot be altered. Okay, this interface can be the management interfaces, such as that management interface, that Ethernet interface. Okay, there can be some software pseudo interfaces like the tunnel interfaces, and there can be some fixed ports, LAN WAN interfaces. On Juno's routers, there can be two management interfaces. One is the out of band management, which we have seen in the previous slide, that is the FX0. So this is a out of band management Ethernet interface. So it is connected to the router's routing engine. Okay, it is connected to the routing engine, and it is used for, as we have said, it is used for out of band management, right? So it can also be used for the management messages like syslog or SNMP traps. This interface is non-transient, which means that traffic cannot enter this interface or exit through this interface. So in some switches like some EX series switches are there, there the management interface is called as the ME0. So in some routers, it will be called as FXP0. Here it will be called as the ME0. Okay. So it depends. Then there is one more interface that is called as the FXP1. Okay. So this is an internal fast Ethernet or gigabit Ethernet interface depending on the model of the router. Okay, this interface is between the router engine and the PFE, RE and the PFE. Okay, this is what I told you, right? Between the VMAX, what is that? VCP and the VFP, we have connected that ME1. So this is what I'm talking about. And then I would like to talk about the loopback interface. See, Cisco also had the loopback interface. Juniper is also having the loopback interface. So what is the big deal? Now the thing is that if I get into this, okay, you can see that I am in the free BSD now. Okay, I'm in the free BSD. I will just type root and I will press. Of course, you know, this is not the new device. I was working on this, so I have a password. PASS@123, and I'm in. So you can see that directly I'm in the shell. Okay, how do you know it's a shell? Because you can see the whole. This is the user @ host name, that is the name of the device, :tilde. Okay, and that hash. So you see the tilde, you know you are in the Linux shell. So if you want to get into the CLI, so operational mode, I'll type CLI, and you can see I'm in the operational mode. Okay. Now here, if I give a command, show interfaces, I'll say tars. I'll tell you what is tars, what is detail and other things, but this is one way to see the interfaces. Okay, you can see lots of interfaces are there. These are interfaces, and there are so many pseudo interfaces are there. Okay, don't worry about this. So many things even I don't know. Okay, but if you scroll down, some are like internal, for their internal, this one, they have internal interfaces are there. Okay, but what I am more constant, this one is, there is look at this. You have the loopback interface. Okay, now this loopback interface, not a big deal. You have it on in our Cisco devices also, but there are some caveats. The thing is that I have not done anything on the loopback interface. I have not created it. It is already there. Okay, this loopback interface is already there. In Cisco, you have to create this loopback interface. Here it is already there. Okay, but just to show you something, you can see that, here LO0 is there. I go to the configuration mode. Okay, and if I give the command show configuration, if I say just show, this is the you can think this as a running configuration. You have the configuration here. Okay, you can see the interfaces. I told you, right? CLI is highly hierarchical. You have the interface, under the interface, gigabit interface. Under that, we'll talk about what is unit, what is family. So initially when you see, it looks like, oh my God, this is Linux coming in. But then if you just do some study, it is very logical, and it becomes very, like, when you see this, you'll easily be able to understand, okay, where should I put the command, what all commands are there, and where is that particular command I have to go and apply. Okay, so you can see here, all the gigabit Ethernet interfaces are there. Okay, but I don't have the loopback interface, right? I don't have the loopback interface. But whereas when I was in the operational mode, and in the operational mode, when I gave the command show interfaces, I could see that there is an interface. Okay, there is a loopback interface. Okay, now the thing is, the loopback interface is there, but it has not been configured. Okay, the loopback interface is there, but it has not been configured. Now, if you want to configure the loopback address, there's a caveat though. So just think about it. Why do you create a loopback interface? Why? Can you tell anybody? Just let's bring forward the discussion. Why do we require loopback interface?
Hi, Mustafa, this side. Loopback interface is required because of loopback is not gone down. It is a logical interface. That's why we need loopback interface for the devices.
So basically, different routing protocols, it will work like an ID, correct or not? Like
Yes.
yes, it will become like a permanent ID. If it is OSPF, it can become a router ID. Okay.
Yes.
And like MPLS, the protocol requires you to use the loopback address as the router ID, without which it will not work. Okay.
Yes,
Even the BGP also. So
Heartbeat IP, you can say, right?
Pardon?
Heartbeat IP.
It is also used, yes, heartbeat IP. So you basically, if you want to check whether that device is working or not, basically you try to ping to the loopback address. And the thing is that if you have multiple connections to that particular interface, even if one of the connections are down, you can reach it through the loopback interface. So if you are able to ping to the loopback interface, you are assured that whatever the link is, at least any one of the link is up. Correct. So when we are using the loopback interface for this purpose, forget about doing the Cisco labs and we create loopback interfaces. Forget about that. But when we are trying to create a loopback interface for our router, like a ID purpose, it will be /32, isn't it? We will use it as a /32 to avoid wasting IP addresses. In Cisco devices, we could use any subnet mask. Okay, and in the lab purpose, we used to use /24 so that it can simulate a LAN network, right? We used to do in the routing this one. But in Juniper documents, they say that the since the loopback address is used as a stable address for the management, this one, so it has to be compulsorily /32. it has to be compulsorily /32. Okay, this is what it is written in the docs. But the thing is, what I have seen is that the virtual routers which we are using, okay, the virtual routers which we are using, they can, here you can give any subnet mask you want. Okay, so you can give any subnet mask you want. Another thing I would like to tell you about loopback is that here you cannot create multiple loopback interfaces. In Cisco, we could create so many loopbacks, loopback 0, loopback 1, loopback 2, and this and that and other things, right? But here we can create only one loopback, that is the loopback 0. Okay, just to show you how we actually create the loopback interface, right? You can see as of now, here, there is no loopback. Okay, one thing. So let me go and create, and I can see that I'm in the configuration mode. How do I know I'm in the configuration mode? I can see the hash symbol, right? So if I exit, you can see this is the operational mode. Okay, if I have to come, I'll say configure. So you can use the word tab to complete, just like Cisco. Okay, so I'm in the configuration mode. Now, to configure something, you have to use the word set. Okay, to configure something, you have to use the word set. Now, look at this. Just to scroll up. How do you configure the interfaces? See, I told you, like, it is very hierarchical. Okay, this is one word I cannot pronounce. So you have to go to the interface. Then inside that, you have to go to the particular interface. Then inside that, you have to go to a unit. What is unit? I'll tell you, but let me tell you in short that unit is the sub interface. Unit is the sub interface. Suppose, you remember router in a stick, Cisco router in a stick, right? We used to go and create interface fast Ethernet 0/0.10 encapsulation.1q10, something like that, right? VLAN tagging. So interface 0/0.10 will here be unit 10. Unit 10 will become 0/0.10. Okay. This is called as the logical part of the interface. The gigabit 0/0/0. What is 0/0/0? We'll talk about that also. But that is the physical part of the interface, and unit 0 is the logical part of the interface. Okay, then you have the family. Now, what is this family? Family is, do you want IPv4 or IPv6 address? So it is inet is IPv4, inet 6 is IP version 6. Okay, then you have to give address, and you are giving the address. See, look at the show command. It is telling you how to give the command, right? So let's look at that. So I'll say set. Okay, you can put question mark, obviously, right? So you have these interfaces, right? So oops. So set interfaces. Then what is that particular interfaces? Loop 0. Okay. Now remember
Sir,
one thing.
Rajgopal here.
Yes.
I think the interface was GE 0/0/0, you're sure, right? Yes.
No, that was I was just showing you that was already configured G zero
Oh.
slash zero slash zero. But how do you, I was just showing you that the under the interfaces, you have this particular interface, right?
Okay. Okay.
Are you getting my point, what I'm saying? So under the interface, you have, see, set, then interface. Under the interface, you can go and configure whatever interface you want to configure. So if I want to configure the GE0/0, I will type GE0/0. But I am just particularly talking about the loopback interface now. Okay? Are you getting my point?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So this is
Kiran, sorry to interrupt. Kiran here.
Yeah, yeah.
Sir, from operation mode to configuration mode, we did the config, right?
Configure, CONFIGURE.
Yeah. Is there any option like we can do edit also? Because
yes.
it is both same operation.
Both are same. Let me show you.
Okay.
See, I go exit. Now edit also very nice command. I was coming to that. Okay. See, okay. I can do edit. I am getting into the configuration mode only. Okay. So it is basically, it is telling that you are in the edit mode. Okay. So it is same. Okay. Now I'll say you can also say edit also, but I'll come to that later on. Set. I'm going to interfaces. Under the interface, I'm going to loop 0. There is no other loop back, only 0 is there. Under the loop back, now listen. So here the logical part says that, okay, you cannot directly give IP address to the physical interface. You have to give the IP address on one of the units. Okay. Suppose you want to give IP address to 0 slash, I'm just telling, okay, some interface 0/0.10. Okay. So you say unit 10. If you want to give the IP address to 0/0.20, you say unit 20. Okay. But how do you give IP address to the main interface? Okay. So in the main, for the main interface, you have to say unit 0. Unit 0 means you are giving it on main interface. Okay. Space. Now you have to say which family. Family, put a question mark. It will tell you, like, you know, INET, MPLS and other things are there, but don't bother about that. IPv4. And then the address, of course, let me give a address. So this is VMX1. Why not I give that 1.1.1.1 slash, the document says I should give 32 only to the loopback interfaces, but in this VMAX series routers, I can give any other IP address any other subnet mask I want. Okay, so if I just put, let's say 24, it will work. Okay. Now, if I say show, can you see it has come? Okay. So it is there. I say Q, I don't want to see further. Now, see.
Sir, Rajgopal here. Sorry to interrupt.
Rajgopal. No. You need to interrupt. Otherwise, it becomes boring. Tell me.
Yeah, this is actually, you have not saved it, right? But how it is?
I have not yet saved it. That's what I wanted to show you. Okay, I have not yet saved it. Okay, wait. This is, you can say, the current configuration. It is not the committed configuration. I will show you the difference. See now, remember that the main show commands, are where? The main show commands you have to give in the operational mode, right? I have to exit and go to the operational mode, right? But in the Cisco devices, in the new versions, remember we had do command, do, right? Yes. So with the help of do commands, we could configure, like we could put the show commands in the configuration mode also. Here also, it is there, it is run. So if you say run, and if you say show interfaces, TERS, remember I gave this command earlier in the operational mode?
Yes.
Or I can press spacebar to quickly complete it. And do you see the IP address here? No, right? It is not there. It is not there because it has not been committed. Okay, you can say this is the committed configuration. That is not the committed configuration. Okay, so let me commit now.
Sir, Anil here.
Yeah.
Sir, in Cisco we give a do command, right? The same way in Juniper, it's a run, right?
Run, yes, it is run.
Okay.
It is run. But I have seen few things that some of the things might not work. Okay. Again, in Cisco also, with do command, not everything works. Okay. So I'm just putting commit. So what commit does, we'll talk about the commit later on. Commit is also a big topic. But what commit will do is, commit will first of all check that when you are giving this command, is this command creating any problem for the existing commands? Number one. Number two, when you are giving this command, for this command to get executed, is some other commands required? That is also important, right? And once it is done, when there is no issue, then it will actually commit the configuration. Now, once we have committed the configuration, why not we look at this show interface TERS command?
Yeah, mouse.
We have it, right?
Yes.
We have it, and remember unit 0, correct? We have this. But there is some interesting thing here. There was, without this also, when this configuration was not there, there was this L0.16384. Okay, and it had a permanent IP address 127.0.0.1. See, what is loopback? Before coming to Cisco, think about the PCs. What is a loopback address? Remember, loopback address was like when you want to check your own NIC card, when you want to ping yourself, right? It is the we used to use this 127.0.0.1. In fact, 127. anything, isn't it? That was the loopback address, correct? So this loopback address is like, that is like, it is me, something like that, right? So this loopback 0.16384, they are using it for internal purpose. They're using this for internal purpose. Okay, so no need to worry about that. But one more thing we have learned about the loopback is that you cannot create loopback 1 or 2 or 3 or something like that. If we try, let's say, so if I say, again, we are in the configuration mode, the commands have to start from, say, suppose, just for example, we are going to work on this, but just want to tell you, okay, you can start the command. Imagine you have to configure like 3-4 interfaces. You have to configure multiple interfaces. So you don't want to type set interface again and again. So what you can do is look at this, edit interface. Instead of set, what did I do? Edit interfaces. Okay. And oh, this one. Okay, but just to show you, I can type edit interfaces and press enter. So just look here. Earlier, it is something like you are in global configuration mode. Now you are in specific configuration mode in terms of Cisco. So you have gone, if you look at here in the show commands, here in the, you are inside the interfaces now. So you can start the command from here or from here or from here. You don't have to start from interfaces. Okay. Now just see here, interesting thing. Okay. Earlier, when I used to give show command in the edit, okay, if I have to give show command, it used to show everything. But I am particularly under the interfaces. Okay. And if I type show now, you can see that it is only showing specific interface information. Correct? See, you are not seeing anything else, isn't it? Okay, let us go a little more into it. Let's say that, oh, yeah, tell me.
So this is Viru. Actually, sometimes, okay, if you give show interface description, okay, we are unable to see the interface, okay, numbers, like example, gig 00, okay, 10 or 20, whatever. That okay, show interface description, we are not unable to see that. But when we give the show interface status, so we can see that interface status. So what is the difference?
See,
Yeah.
show interface command. Show interface command. Okay, good question. Okay, now listen. Pen, yeah. Think about this. Okay, you have operational mode and you have configuration. Okay.
Okay.
The operational mode will show you physical characteristics. Like, don't take my word by word, but just in general, try to understand. Okay. So it will show you physical characteristics.
Okay.
This will show you like logical characteristics, something like that. Now, in the operational mode, if you are giving some operational mode command like show interfaces, it will show you all the physical interfaces, whether it is configured or not configured. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
But here, if you give the command show configuration, it will show you only what is getting configured.
Okay.
So when I didn't configure loopback 0, loopback 0 was there, unlike Cisco. In Cisco, you configure the loopback, but here you don't configure the loopback. It is already there. Okay. But you could not see that in the configuration because it was not configured.
Okay.
Isn't it?
Fine, sir. Okay. Yeah, fine. I got it. If we configure the particular interface, so we can see that
exactly,
right?
Exactly. Okay. So if just for example, all the gigabit interface will be seen here, but you will see only those interfaces which you have configured.
Okay.
I hope this is clear.
Yeah, sure, sir. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir, Rajgopal here.
Yeah, Rajgopal, please.
Yeah, I have another question on this. See, on Cisco, if we give show interface, even if there will be whatever the physical interfaces, also we can see, right?
Even if it is not configured.
Yeah,
yes.
But yeah, on this, is that the same command on the Juniper interface terrace will be the output of the Cisco? That is what you're trying to say?
Yeah. See, yes. Correct. Show interfaces tars. Okay, tars or detail and other things we will learn later on. Okay. So tars will be there, detail will be there, extensive will be there, this will brief will be there. So these are, at how much detail you want to see, this will give you information. But show interfaces command will basically show you all the physical interfaces, configured or not configured. Okay. But in the show configuration command, which is supposed to be given in the configuration mode, okay, this will show you only those interfaces which are configured. Okay.
Okay, got it.
Now you can also do something like this. Suppose you want to see a particular interface, then you can say run show interface tars means like in short form, and I don't want to see all the interfaces. You have the pipe command. You can say pipe, you can say match, maybe match LO0. Let's try this. Okay, so it is showing you only this one. Okay. I came here just to show you that they will not allow me to create loopback 1, right? Loopback 1 or loopback 2. Let's try to do that. Okay. So I am already under the interface, right? I am already under the interface. Now I don't have to write the interface in my command. So I can say set. Normally I'll say set interfaces. Then I'll go for the loopback interface. So I'll say set interfaces. I'll say LO. Let me try something else. LO2 space. Then unit. It's not giving me. Okay. This is not allowing me. Another thing. Let me try to create more sub interfaces. In the loopback only, why not I try to create more interfaces? I'll have in the same loopback 0 space unit, and let's say unit 10, it will be 0/0.10. Oh, sorry, loopback 0.10, then it will be, right? So unit 10 space inet. No. It will be family. Sorry. Family, it is taking, let's see, inet space, bracket IPv4. I'll say address. Let me give another address like 1.1. Let's say 2.1/24. It is taking. Let's commit it. Aha. See, when you commit, it is not directly, configuring, this one, but it is actually doing a error check. So it is telling that this unit 10 instance. So multiple loopback interfaces not permitted in the master routing instance. Now, what is a routing instance? I'm going to talk about that later on. But routing instance is something like VRF. VRF in router, virtual routing and forwarding. You have multiple routing tables, right? So the main routing table is called as the master. Okay, so this is this one. So you can see that this is not possible, right?
Hello, Shekhar.
Yeah.
Shekhar, we can also do show compare also for checking what we are adding and removing on the interfaces, no?
Show
compare.
Show compare. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Show pipe compare.
Okay.
Okay. This will show you that, it is comparing the last committed version with this. See, when you see this plus sign, that means when I put a commit, they will try to add these commands. Getting my point? Now, whether it was successful, not successful, that is different thing. Okay. So when you give the command show space pipe command and then compare, it will show you the uncommitted commands, and they will, if this is a plus sign, that means this command will be there. If there is a minus sign, then it is supposed to be removed. Okay, the command will be removed. Okay, just for example, let's say I want to delete this particular interface. I want to delete the IP address from this interface. So I'll say delete. I'm already on that interface. So I'll say loopback 0 unit 0 family.
Sir, please hold
Yeah.
on. Don't delete this. I have one more question on this. Okay, now the plus sign says uncommitted configuration. So in this case, in case if you come out from the configuration mode, because on I think below the highlight it was thrown an error, right? That checkout failed. So what you do, maybe you will check later, Karke, you just come out from the configuration mode. So later, for example, someone else like me or someone, if we log into this box and we trying to do some interface change, so will that time will allow, or this, because there will be an uncommitted changes?
Yeah, there are some uncommitted changes. I'm going to do that. Okay. So I have a separate section to go through this committed, uncommit, entire commit thing. But you can do a rollback. I think it is in the. So if I exit out, Okay. If I say rollback 0. Okay. So when I say
now you are in rollback 0, it means that you are in
the previous configuration. I am in the previous configuration, previous committed configuration.
Okay, do we need to commit here when we do the rollback 0?
I don't think so. See, nothing is there.
Sorry, I just lost for a minute.
No. I don't think so. You have to commit. You may have to commit. No, you may not have to commit because it is not required. You have gone back to the previous committed version. Okay. And you can see that in the show command. You can see in the show command, show hyphen compare, it would have shown you what all commands are there to be committed. Since nothing is there, see earlier, if I give this command show compare, can you see there were some commands?
Yeah.
Right, that had to be added, but now see here, nothing is there, right?
Yeah.
So Shekhar, if we commit those changes, then we will not be able to roll back, no? If it is committed once.
So again, rollback, you can roll back to any version. We are coming to that. It will be a separate session. Don't worry about that. Okay.
One small doubt here. Actually, when you configured unit 10, after that, when you attempt to commit, is not taken due to it has triggered some alert that multiple routers.
Anyway, this would not have got committed.
Yeah.
But
so
imagine there were some genuine changes.
Yeah.
Imagine there were some genuine changes then.
Yeah. My concern is that since it is not been like committed, in this case, rollback 0 is required or not?
Not required.
Not required.
Because anyway, no changes would have happened.
Okay.
Suppose you after that you do some more configuration. Okay, and then you commit. Okay, so that error, they will show that it is not getting configured. Okay, I want to show you one more thing. If I say delete, now I'm in the edit. Can you see that I'm in the edit because I had to come out? So I have to write the full command. So it is interfaces. Under the interface loopback 0. Under the loopback, the unit logical unit is unit 0. I'll say add family.
Sir, your screen is blank. It's for me only or entire team?
Guys,
we are able to see.
We are able to see, Viro.
Okay, sure. I'll disconnect and relog in. Thank you.
No, maybe your internet little bit fluctuation is there.
Yeah, sure. Let me check this.
So delete interface loopback 0, unit 0, family is inet, right? And then what was the IP address? I think 1.1.1.1/24. See, the command is delete. I wanted to delete it. There's a syntax error. Oh, sorry. I forgot to give the address. Address, right? Address 1.1.1.1/24, right? So now, if I give this, no, not commit now, show compare.
Shekhar sir, sorry to interrupt. Instead of commit, we have a better option for commit check, right? It will throw out the error if
yes.
If there's some error, it will throw out.
There are so many things. See, hold on. There are so many things that I'm not getting into that. The commit will be one section only. Okay. There will be a separate section for commit and this rollback and other things. We'll talk about it separately. But I just wanted to show you here. See, can you see there is a minus here now? This minus is telling that after the commit has been done, this will be removed. This will be deleted. This will be deleted from the configuration. Okay, so that is minus. If it is a plus, then the configuration will be added. If it is a minus, then the configuration will be removed. Just wanted to show you this.
Shagas sir, this is Rajesh here.
Yeah.
Shagas, if you want to delete the particular interface, can we give the command delete interface, the interface name alone, or we need to give that entire section to delete?
You can try that. Let's say delete interface. Let's say gigabit Ethernet 0/0/, let's say 1, just for example. And if I put a question mark here, yes, I can execute that command here also.
Okay.
Or you can temporarily disable the interface. See, the interfaces in unlike Cisco, okay, in Juniper the interfaces are always up. Okay, unlike Cisco, in Juniper the interfaces are always up. But let's say for a temporary reason, if you want to shut down the interface, you can say, you can put the disable command. Okay.
So suppose sir, if we want to shut down the particular interface, for that we can able to use the disable command, no? Set interface
See,
name.
the thing is that the interface will not work till you logically go and configure, right? You need zero interface and other things. After that also, let's say for temporary, for testing purpose, or for some reason you want to shut down that interface, that means you use the word disable.
So a disable command has to be given as set interface name. Disable
set interface, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So this is the thing. And now I was talking about the loopbacks. We have to talk about these interfaces, but now we have 10 minutes. I want you people to log in and see. Not everybody, please, in a group 1 guy. You know, 2 people are there, right? So you people decide and please log in and see once. If you want, I can create 10 virtual classrooms where you people can go into and just check. So you people decide. You people have this one, right? That AnyDesk login. So please try and check. But please tell your partner. Please tell your partner that I am doing it. Please don't do. And if you start the lab, please shut down the lab and come. Okay, please shut down the lab and come. Your partner can also watch you do, because the first one, when you join through AnyDesk, the second one, he also can join to the AnyDesk. The other one should just approve. That's all. Okay. So can you just check and just go around the devices? But please work on your folders only.
Sure.
Please. I will just stop the recording because it's not required.